Welcome back to Practice, Practice, Practice. I am your host, Nick, of Nick Liebman Music, and I'm so glad you're here to practice with me today. First things first, let's just loosen up our wrists a little bit. This stretching is helpful in the long term to prevent an injury and to keep everything working nice and well. So my little regimen for that is just down like this, down like that, prayer together, turn it down, give us a spin one way and then the other, just to do that, just to get everything nice and loosened up. And we're going to tune, ladies and gentlemen. Time to tune. It's E, dead center. A is a little flat. There we go. D. Good. G. Good. B. Good old B. And E. We're in good shape today. One more time, that's E. Sorry, E. A. D. G. B. And E. A lot of people have been asking about solos. Okay, enough of the chords. I want a solo. I want to learn how to solo. So we've done a little bit of this. We've done some chromatic scales, some major scales. Today we're going to learn a very basic minor blues scale. What's a blues scale? A blues scale is basically a minor pentatonic scale. Pentatonic, penta is 5 in Greek, and pentatonic is a scale that has 5 tones in it. You are familiar with this scale, even if you don't know that you are. The 5 black keys in an octave on a piano are, in fact, constitute the pentatonic scale. If you start on the F sharp and go F sharp to F sharp, that's a major pentatonic scale. If you start on the E flat, go E flat to E flat, then that is a minor pentatonic scale. So we're doing something kind of like that, except in addition to the main pitches of the pentatonic scale, a blues scale incorporates some chromatic moves. So I'm just going to teach you this the simplest way. We're going to be in the key of E, so we're nice and open strings here, and I'm going to go through low to high this blues scale as it was taught to me. Open for the E, 3rd fret G, right? All right there, honestly, that's almost everything you need to know about a minor scale, is that the 3rd scale degree is lowered. So if I were doing a major scale, I'd go do, re, mi. Right, I'd have that G sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp are the first 3 pitches of E major. But E minor, it's E, F sharp, that minor 3rd, G natural. So in the scale we're playing, we're just going to skip that F sharp, go right up to the G. A open, and here's one of those chromaticisms, one of these little runs here where it's just each half step next to each other. So A, B flat, B. Try that a few times. So you might recognize that's a riff from a Pink Floyd song, Have a Cigar. Uses this scale, right? So, and then it's just D open. And then D 2nd fret, which is our E. That's the scale. The rest of it is just repeating it in the next octave. I'll show you how you do that. Open G, right? So now where our was there, now it's from the 2nd fret on the D string, open G. Right? You can also play that B open. So that's where our chromaticism lies. A, B flat, B. There's that D, 3rd fret B string. Open, open E. You can even go up to the 3 again. So let's try this just from the bottom to the top. Oops, no chromaticism there, my fault. Just adding a little bit of tremolo there on some of those pitches because it's fun. So that, and just like bar chords, if you know how to do that in E, guess what? You know how to do that everywhere else on this lowest string as well, right? Because if I wanted to do this in G, I'd just, instead of playing open, I'd bar on the 3rd fret of my E string. And now the 3rd fret above that, right, is the 6th fret. Oops. Right? So let's move up a string. So if I were to do this A minor, because of the B string, the way the B string is tuned, it's going to look a little different. Open A, 3rd fret of the A string, looking very similar so far. Open D, chromaticism up to the 2nd fret. Open G. Right? That gets us up to the A, 2nd fret of the A. Ooh, that's not going to work anymore, right? Gotta do that on the 1st fret there. So now instead of it being 2 frets apart to get to that minor 3rd above, now it's only one fret difference here. And then same here. This will be the 1st and 3rd fret rather than open and 2nd fret. Yep. A little bit tougher, right? But in particular, oftentimes I found I haven't really needed to use that at that pitch break there, but the most important thing is just getting that one right? So if I wanted to play an E minor blues scale, right, an E blues scale, I can play it open like that, or I can use this A configuration and move it up to the 7th fret. So there's a couple of things here. One's that, yeah, this can all stay the same. I kind of, when I'm up here, I like to move this part up. So I do the chromaticism there, and then instead of having to, get that 3rd note back here on the E string and move it back up, I just, right there. Is everybody seeing that? Oops. 12, 10, 12, 11, 12, 11, 10, 12, 9. Hope that makes sense. And then we're 9, 7. Right? So the song today. There's lots of songs that use this scale. This scale's all over. Pop music, rock music, blues music, jazz music. Like, it's all over the place, okay? The more you do this, you'll hear it. Also, by the way, when you pitch it onto, so like, let's say the relative major of your key that you're playing. So the E minor, the relative major to E minor is G. So I can actually use an E minor blues scale over the chords for a song in G. So whereas if this were over, right, sounds like it's a blues scale, right? But if we're going, right, so they'll work together that way, and this hopefully will really enhance your playing and give you a few options. what I can recommend, we'll do this in future practice sessions, is just come up with a couple of licks, a couple of places, a couple of little moves you can do, and then soon, the more of those you build up, you can learn how to chunk them together and change them slightly as you use them. That's the basis of improvisation and soloing. So, but what we're going to do is play a song today that uses this scale. So we're going to start up here on the 7th fret with your first finger on the A string, which makes an E, and then an octave above that, so 9th fret on the G string. That's our area where we're going to be doing our riff for this song. It's a song by Cream. It's called Sunshine of Your Love. And the opening riff, the main riff of the verse, goes like this. That's mainly it. That's mainly it. A few embellishments here and there, but that's most of this song. If you can do that, you can play most of this song. One more time. So you're on the G string on the 9th fret, and you're going to go 9, 9, 7, 9, right? On that same fret, and then we're moving down a string and just doing that chromaticism. And then 7th fret A string to make the E, and it's just 7, 10, 7. Did a little hammer on there. That's a little thing, a little variation you can add. If you do it exactly the same every time, it's going to get a little monotonous. So you're going to want to add those tiny little flourishes. Maybe I'm muting it. Now that's the other thing we can do here. I gave you all that talk about how the B string's got to be offset when you're doing this blues scale. Well, not in this exact case, because if you just bar, we've got our E, it's the G string 9th fret. If you also bar the B string on the 9th fret, makes this like major third thing happening. So it sounds a little bit happier, and that kind of brings this, there's some sort of happiness to psychedelic music, I think. And Cream was definitely at least psychedelic adjacent, if not pretty psychedelic for its day. So yeah, that you'll hear that in the recording. Use it, especially after the first time you play. The first time, it kind of, that gives it a little momentum, gives it a place to grow. So the first time, just play it strict with just the E like that, and then add the B string in the more you're playing it in the song. But this is what goes under the verse. There's one moment in the verse right before the end when it actually switches to A, and you just do that down here. It's the same finger movements, we're just moving it down 7 frets, so it's the same configuration. So that's what's tricky about that, is just moving in between those there. And then there's like a chorus, and these are chords that are played in the chorus. You can get away from the soloing when you get to the chorus. The chorus is B bar chord, big, beautiful, bold B bar chord. And I've been waiting so long. So that's, if you didn't catch that, that's a B major, a D, and I'm just using a power chord there. You can play the bar chord, but just doing a power chord. A. You can throw some chromaticisms in there. You can do little things like that to help it rock, right? So I'm going to play a verse and a chorus, and I hope that this has been valuable for you, and that you will find the chords for this in practice and do all that good stuff. So I hope this really brings your guitar playing to a new place. So enjoy. I also want to just mention, this is a song I learned very early. In the first couple of years I was playing guitar, I learned this song. And it was one of the first songs, this and maybe some Jimi Hendrix music, were some of the first songs I learned that were played by real amazing guitarists. Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. They weren't just folk songs or sing-along songs, things like that. This was actually some real virtuosic guitar playing that I was getting to emulate a little bit. So this is a great entree into that sort of thing. I hope you enjoy. It's getting me down when the lights closing through your eyes. I'll be with you soon, my love. Give you my dawn surprise. I'll be with you, darling, now. I'll be with you till the stars are falling. I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going, in the sunshine of your love. So I hope that gives you an idea of how to put all that stuff together. I want to thank you so much for coming to practice with me today. Please don't forget there are more lessons. Practice. Come practice with me. You can find them right there. The PPP cover song playlist. Listen to the original recordings of all the cover songs we do here at Practice. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more episodes, for more practice, for more music, and all sorts of good stuff. All right. Thank you again for coming, and I will see you tomorrow.